Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So I'm back with part two of the shelters. I did part one, go check that out. But this is part two. The reason why I want to talk about the shelters because the shelters is a sanctuary for those that's going through something in their life. In the 80s, actually in the 90s, the shelters was horrible. It was really really horrible. A lot of people that was locked up, a lot of people that did a lot of time, they had no place to go. They didn't have apartment. They went into these shelters, and the shelters now wasn't the shelters before. The shelters now wasn't the shelters before. A lot of these shelters are hotels now. They turned into hotels because it became a lucrative business. And during COVID, the hotels, whoever had a hotel, you're gonna get paid because now you can use these hotels for getting sanctuary. You can blame it on the revenue of, oh, I'm gonna lose money. So now the government is gonna fund you and turn your shelters, your business into establishment because at the time a lot of stuff was going on. You know, COVID was going on. This a lot was going on. People was getting paid. During this time, people got rich. If you didn't get rich, you don't blame your situation on nobody but you. If you didn't get rich, if you running around, you're mad at somebody because you don't have no money. That is because of you. And people out here still moving and grooving. You had the opportunity to take the money and do whatever you wanted to do with it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I worked in a lot of shelters in my life, right? I worked in couples shelters. I worked in family shelters. I worked in single male shelters, right? As maintenance, and I also was in the shelter. I was in the shelter for four. Yeah. Well, before I got my place, I was in the shelter for 4 years. I was in the shelter for 40 before I got my place, before I got my apartment, right? It's what you make it, especially in New York City. How you doing? How you doing? Especially out here in New York City, the shelters are what you make it. You can make it into a place where that you can gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You can gain it. You can take it as for what it's worth, meaning all the benefits that it has to offer there. The school, right? Schooling, they offer that. Trade school, they offer trade school. They offer getting your license, your driver license. They have connections with that. Um, they also offer housing. Okay, Steve-O. So these shelters breed success, but they can breed failure. It depends on the individual on how you see it. Because when I was in there, I was shaking and moving. I had two jobs. I was never in there. I was never in there. You never saw me. And if you do saw me, that may be months later on. After, however, I may have had to come there and sign some paperwork. But I was moving and grooving. I didn't have time to sit there and use use the shelter as a ways of me of doing criminal activity, or me drinking or getting high or me not working or me just being on public assistance, because you got individuals that do that. I didn't do that. I had two jobs. I had to shake and move. I had to get up out of there. I had to make a better me, because these these places, right? These shelters, they have a tendency to basically cripple you. And what I mean by cripple you, saying that you can't work and that the only thing you can live on is every 2 weeks, I think $100 something, and once a month food stamps. No, that wasn't gonna be me. That wasn't gonna be me. I started making moves. I started applying. I started applying for jobs. I started applying for school. I started applying for colleges. I started applying for everything that's gonna keep my mind occupied and active, and me to have motion and movement. And also, I was working out inside this. So I basically used that as a stepping stone for me to get where I need to be at now. So this is why you have to motivate yourself. The shelters are not all bad. A lot of individuals that I see that's young in their 30s, they are homeless. They are homeless. I see them in the street corners. I see them sleeping on the trains. I see them sleeping on the buses. I see them just sleeping. Different places. This is a perfect opportunity for you to take this shelter and to motivate yourself and to be active. This time where you can improve yourself. Yes, college full scholarship to any other American born in. Yes, that's right. These shelters actually is a doorway for you to improve your condition, for you to save money. So when you get your place, you can buy all your furniture. Especially, and this is going to all the males. I'm talking to all the males. There shouldn't be no males that's in New York City, just in New York City. I'm not talking about all around all the different communities. I'm just talking about in New York City. There shouldn't be nobody that is homeless because the shelter provides three hots in a cot. It provides a bed, a roof over your head. You just gotta obey the curfew, which is 11 o'clock. I didn't have a curfew because I always had two jobs, so I was never there. I was always moving. Use these places as a mean for you to better your life, to better your situation. Reconnect with your children, reconnect with your body, reconnect with the creator. This is what you're supposed to do, right? Work on yourself. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may take 3 years. However many years it take every day, one day at a time, and conquer and complete each and every day. I noticed that me working in the shelter and me living in the shelter, I gave advice to everybody that needed. I gave advice to individuals that needed jobs. I gave advices to the people for education because I was connected to the right to the right people. The reason why I'm saying it is because this is a time right now with all the stuff that's going on in 2025 where people was using the shelters as sanctuary. People was getting money, cash, they was getting food stamps, and they wasn't even from America. They wasn't even citizens. This was going on. They was running up a bag. Everybody, go over there to New York City. They giving out free money. They giving out food stamps. They giving out tablets. They giving out phones, right? They giving out all of this stuff, and they giving out apartments. Go over there. It's a free ride over there. And this was going on. You had individuals from other countries taking advantage of all these benefits which the ancestors fought for. And we have the same people over here right now that have the same benefits that can get up. There's no excuse for you being on the corner or trapping on the corner or you being stagnated. You go right in shelter and you can get your life together. Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. In the 90s and the early 2000s, the shelter was breeding jail. It was jail. It was the new prison system. It was. It wasn't helping nobody. It wasn't helping get nobody apartments. It wasn't helping get nobody no jobs. It was none of that going on. It wasn't. Not in the long rate that it is now. So now we have a different administration. We have different rules and regulation where that you can take that upon yourself. Even if they don't help you, you help yourself. You are an individual, right? That needs to figure it out. Just like my past video that I did with Adam. Be your Adam. Figure it out. Communicate. Rob by yourself. Up and lift your situation at the end of the day because ain't nobody's gonna help you but you. You have to show that you need to help yourself. And sometimes you have to push yourself because yourself is stubborn. I know it all too well because when you are dealing with a certain situation, you on drugs, you on alcohol, you on cigarettes, you jobless, you homeless, and it weighs down upon you. I understand that. But don't look at it as a plague of depression and trauma. Look at it as a plague of benefits, a plague of reward, a plague of you becoming independent and having your own place as a man and as a male. Every man's supposed to have his own place. However way you get it, however way you get it, you did it. You fought the odds. You beat the odds. Don't let nobody trick you out of your freedom. Don't let nobody trick you out of what you're supposed to become. Put apart your side, go in the shelter and take care of yourself. There's no reason why anybody should be homeless on the trains or on the buses or in the streets or sleeping in buildings and all this other stuff. No, they got sanctuary. They got benefits there that you can go do. They got soap, they got showers, they got everything there. Do that before you enter these plantations, before they give you a lot of time. But you out in society where that you can better your life. You can go back to school. You can go to college. You can learn a trade. You can get your license. Like you can actually start to work on your life and build a better life, and actually find a wife and have children. Yes, you can. Start from the bottom and work your way up. You could do that, beloved, but it's up to you if you want to do that. It is up to you. The shelter is what you make it. I made it into I made it into a rewarding and harvest for me. I cultivate the land, I tilt the land, and then I harvest the fruit of my labor. And the fruit of my labor was that I'm working for MTA bus operator, right? And I got my own place, working on my credit, thinking about thinking about and on the works of getting a house. You understand what I'm saying? For me and my children. So these are the things that you can do. Because if I did it, you can do it. If I did it, you can do it. Don't look at the shelters as they are jails and ain't. No, it's not like that no more. It's not like that. They don't give you food that's garbage and stuff like that. Take it from me. Take it from me. I was in there for 4 years, and right, and I use that. How you want to say it? I use that situation and so-called downfall of depression and trauma. I used that and turned it around and turned it into success. Every situation that you go through doesn't necessarily have to mean it's evil, it's depression, you in trauma. No, it means success. Work on your life. Work on your communication with your kids. Work on your communication. Well, if you are going through something, don't do that right at the time. Working on your children, work on yourself first. Then you start to work on your connection with God. You start to work on your connection going back to school. You work on your connection going back to college degrees. They got on course. They got free internet in there. Get yourself a laptop. You working, stack your money up, build your credit up. This is the time and place where you can do that at. Yes, you can. You can do it. I did it. I did it, and you can do it. So don't use it as something that's bad, but it's really, really good for you. And the benefits that it has to offer is amazing. Jobs, career jobs. Get your driver license. You can go to school to get your CDL. You can begin into construction, electrician, plumbing, whatever you need to do. You can access that over there in the shelters because it has access to all of the information. And if it don't, you go outside and get busy. You go to the library. You go to certain things. You just shake and move. You shake and move, shake and move. Keep yourself active. And trust you me, if you're going to listen to me, right? You're listening to me. Apply it. I will appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe to the Dopest channel out right now on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe to the Dopest channel out right now on YouTube. Ain't nobody's going to give it up like this. Ain't nobody going to tell you the realness about what you need to do upon your life. You're a grown man. You're a big man. Take this situation and change the situation into success for you. I did it. If I could do it, you can do it. Trust you me. Each one teach one. And this is what we need to do. Not hide the information, but get the information out so it can be a better you. I was in it for 4 years. All right? You can do it less. It depends on you. Right? It depends on your effort, how much work you're ready to put in, how much footwork, how much train work, how much bus work. You know, and these things, and you can take showers. They got soap in there. They got everything in there, the necessity that can get you by as a human being, right? And then when you get to your destination, when you get your apartment, then you can be able to live a little better. You know, get yourself brand new clothes and sneakers and stuff like that. You can do all that other stuff. You know, get your life together, get a car, get a wife, and take care of your children, the things that you need to do for yourself, beloved. Because this is all big facts. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Hit it, hit it, hit it, so you can know that I'm dropping bangers and heat for you and I. Yeah, this is part two of the shelters being success. It's being a level up. It's being great energy for you and I. Peace, y'all. Peace.